Good evening and welcome to the Poets Cafe, the art of conversation. It is where artists come to life. Spoken word brings forth the inner creation of hidden treasures, expressing tones and lyrics felt within the soul, vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds through various forms of expressions, including writers, singers, spoken word artists, and those engaging in artistic expression through painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities to the mind at all levels. Wherefore my time leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina, gazing across the stage in her soft-toed ballerina shoes. Welcome to the Artists of Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCray. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to embark on a new way of presenting this platform to our audience. So, sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. If this is Sunday, it must be Poetically Speaking with yours truly, Terry Benjamin and Ronald C. McCray. Again, it's been a very busy weekend, Ron. I mean, a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening. I guess one of the biggest things was the No Kings protests throughout our great land. You know, again, we're talking about many, many cities. We're talking about Austin, Texas, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, San Diego, Atlanta, Boise, Washington, D.C., Oakland, Charlotte, North Carolina, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Pasadena, Chicago, Boston, and Minneapolis. As a matter of fact, estimates was they said they had about 100,000 people in Times Square, and they said that the crowd was bigger than the crowd that they had for New Year's Eve in Times Square, and that's saying quite a bit. So again, an estimate around the world, and especially in our part of the world, they said there was like about 7 million people, and now just a modest estimate. And so again, I think this is going to have some impact. But again, we come to you, we share this information, but we also want to thank you. And before we come on the air, there are people who reach out to us through TikTok, and I just want to take a few minutes just to acknowledge those people. And so we have some special shout-outs to our friends who reach out to us on TikTok. So I want to say what's going on, Jesse Wilkerson. What's going on, Evan Terry Benjamin? What's going on, Diane Wallace? What's going on, Jacqueline Elaine Coleman? What's going on, Chanel Gilmore? What's going on, Sylvia Carter? What's going on, Kay Sweetness Jennings? What's going on, Rhonda Jackson? What's going on, Dina Robinson? What's going on, Barbara Bowles Valentine Gordon? What's going on, Joanne Blount? What's going on, Harry Mars? What's going on, Sherry Griffin? What's going on, Easter Canty? What's going on, Annabelle Partusa? What's going on, Deborah Dozer? And what's going on, Laretha Foster Bram? What's going on, Richard Medley? What's going on, Robert Caberstock, who just had a birthday recently? Happy birthday, Robert. And again, these are people that we shout out because they have definitely been with us a lot from the very beginning. I mean, some of the people that I shout out today were with us from day one. And again, and we thank you for that, and we thank you for tuning in. And we also thank you for spreading the word to other people, because I see a lot of new names, and I appreciate that. But let's get started, okay? Today, again, I'd like to mention, let everybody know that we're not just here by ourselves. Pierre is our engineer for today, and he's the one who keeps everything going like it's supposed to go. Today's agenda, learning and earning. And again, the more you learn, the more you earn because you have more skills. The quote of the day is from a very well-known artist, Pablo Picasso. And Pablo Picasso says something that's been said by many different people. And he says here, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So we find our gift and we give our gift away. Also, I'd like to bring your attention to this book. This book I acquired a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I went to a conference, a black men's conference, and this was in 2008. I met Kenneth Brown, who was the author of this particular book. And the title of this book is Life, L-I-F-E, Living in Freedom Every Day. And it's 6 principles for successful living. And this is Kenneth Brown with Patricia Borders. And this is my daily mantra. I believe in life, L-I-F-E, and every day. Life is living in freedom every day. And I really stand by this particular book because it really has changed my life in the sense it's given me a focus for every single day that I live. And so I wanted to share that with you. As always, we begin our program with the agenda for the day, and then we get the quote of the day, and then we have a very special segment that I always enjoy because I don't know what the young man is going to bring us, Of course, I'm talking about Ron's poetry. Ron, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, I'd like to start out this way in reference to even the agenda, and matter of fact, in two parts in short. As you just read, and as the world knows what's happening today, and I say in church, and I said it over and over and over again, you focus on something you have control over, but you have no control over the mind of those, and in this case, your president that's in control, because he's out of control. The problem is, it shows you that here over 100,000 people, 1 million people around the world came together because they got tired. And so let me be point blank.
Yes, please.
How is it that we cannot come together each and every day to stop the things that's unnecessary that affect our community and come together to rebuild and make something happen? Because as you indicated, talking about learning and reading and learning and coming together to help one another, yet and still you sit back and you go to sleep. You see, the Bible says, for all those who read the Bible, the Quran, doesn't matter. To have life and have it abundantly. What is life to you? And how is it that you have it abundantly if you are asleep? We talked about this before. So no matter how you look at it, don't wait till somebody else wake up to start something and then you jump on the bandwagon to say, yeah, this is what we're doing because we're tired of the king. Well, who gave him the title, king? Where did the king come from? Because from the Christian aspect, from the Bible, we know who the king is. Okay, the higher power. We start with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And if you look at it from the Quran, we're talking the Prophet Muhammad.
Yes.
If you look at it from the Torah, we talk about Moses. But the bottom line is they wasn't kings, but they was following the king. And who are you following? Because if you're following the king up above, then you shouldn't be focused on the one down here, because the king down here is the one that God gave permission to roam the earth and do what it's supposed to do, to seek and destroy. Those who read the Bible, look it up. Go to James. No matter how you look at it. You see, read it, look at it, okay, and stop following darkness and evil. Look at life and have it abundantly. So let me read this. We often talk about relationship, we talk about men, we talk about women. But here, I want to read this in short, because again, it's about understanding the whole meaning both parts, men and women. But in this case, this is centered around men. So let me read this. The hidden pain of a man. Deep within a man's heart and soul, he struggles with hidden pain day and night, haunted by unexplained emotions as he sings stormy blues, offering unforgiving apologies to the ones he hurt and to the one who remains indifferent to his plea. Men cry silent tears, yell in fierce anger, screaming to be heard. Why do men cry quietly? Why does he see his frustration winding away in his neck like a parathon squeezing the life out of his hopes and dreams that fade into darkness, all while struggling to make it home? To understand life's freedom, one must explore the beauty of nature around them, search within to feel their inner pain, and recognize what causes the outside world to invade and rage. Mm-hmm. An intense anger flowing through their nervous system, screaming without any sound, reaching the outside. Born free, dying in a world not his own, a world without sight and sound, of echoes, cry, only silence, a dream of a dream that never led to perdition for an unworthy cause, in an atmosphere where time stands still. Now, just in short, because again, we hear all the time, women talk about men, and women coming together. But do you stop and listen? And I'm talking to the brothers today, as well as our audience, is the women. Mm-hmm. Listen to, understand. See, there's a silentness. There's a cry on the inside. The outside is what you see, and that's what you react to. But do you ever stop to think about on the inside? Is he really hurting? Does he have pain, or he just smiling like a clown? Mm-hmm. You know, you sit around criticizing him, well, he could do this and that and the other. So there's a responsibility on both sides, because you can't read and learn something if you don't take time to understand something. And that understanding something is human nature. What is life? Do you take time to think about what is life? Do you learn to sit around and ask your God, the higher power, Jesus, Moses, or the Prophet Muhammad, or anybody else? Do you ask them, what is my life worth? Mm-hmm. I mean, Martin Luther King said it. Okay, then he go back and read it. Mm-hmm. Life, what is it worth? Mm-hmm. What is it worth to you? Mm-hmm. Do you sit around and ask yourself, do you talk to your neighbors or somebody passing by in the park on the street and ask them with a smile and hello, how you do? What is life to you? How do you see life? Because I may be going through something. Can you help me understand my life or the life that surrounds me? And that's what's important, you know. Mm-hmm. Men, yes, we're just like women too. Mm-hmm. We have pain, we have hidden pain. We may not show it the exact same way. Women are more emotional than men. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is nature is emotion. You ever think about the emotional state of life? Mm-hmm. Sit back and watch the leaves, the birds, the bees, the trees, and the animals, and all the water that flows, okay? Look at it. Think about it. Do you ever listen to it? Because there are periods of time that nature in itself have rage within it, yelling and screaming. And you know what they're yelling and screaming at? By the ignorance and the sadness of you, human nature, because you bring hell to it. You throw trash in the street, you cuss at everything. You never say thank you, life, for what you have done for me by waking me up. Do you even hug a tree? But let me stop here because, again, I'll come back later on.
My brother, you preaching right now. Aretha Foster-Bram says, my life is more precious than rubies. And that's so true. Because the life that we have, if it's lived right, you can't put a price on it. And so I think you're sharing, especially with men. And as we go on with Ron's poetry, I just want to let people know, you probably know, but October 16th, 1995 was the Million Man March. And believe it or not, and I find it hard to believe, that's been 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, we had the Million Man March. And those things that we discussed in that meeting are things that we still need to address. So it's been 30 years since the Million Man March, but we're still marching. There's still things that we have to do, my brother.
And it shows you that society, and let me say, call a spade a spade. See, in this culture, our culture, you still sleep. You went back to sleep. You went to the market. I was there, okay? But you went back to sleep when you got home. You figured 30 years. Then they had a 20-year reunion, and that was in 2015. We were just talking about that too. Whoa, where did 20 years go? So what has changed then and now? 30 years ago, 20 years ago, what has changed in your life that made something better for somebody else? Okay, and that's what's important because, again, the Million Man March, Minister Farrakhan called 1 million, and I think a moment show was over 2 million. 2 million.
More than 1 million.
You know what the hell could have changed in that day, that 1 hour, that one day, that 1 hour? So much could have been changed. We shouldn't be sitting here talking about, what has changed. And matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me call a spade a spade. When Dr. King came out of the office of the President of the United States, and he said, we shall overcome. Y'all still singing that song till now. You don't even hear it anymore. We shall overcome. You dragged your feet until you went back to sleep. But anyway, let me read this. This one is titled Africa. Africa is the motherland, nurturing a love for romance, where the beauty of our soul soars to the heavenly stars, making its way through the galaxy of time. African princes are wooing into the footsteps of our ancestors, and their legacy reminds us of the history once shared. But the journey is towards tomorrow's freedom. Life started at the hand of an influential author, creator, and finisher who shaped the image of our inner spirit and declared that we are wonderfully made, without any mistake, broken pieces, or flaws. We are the rivers that flow with milk and honey in a land never before explored. The soil we are born from is the foundation we stand on. Strength, wisdom, and knowledge will always help us go beyond the limits that try to hold back our growth. Our voices are heard deep inside, our silent tears surrendering to the Master's plan without distortion of how we can. We overcame pain we never fully understood. Africa, rich, vibrant soil, deep illustration, flavorful, sparkling like a sapphire, diamonds, embraced by our identity as brothers and sisters. We are inseparable. Babies are born, children are playing, and there is climate change, patterns, fabrics, head wraps and designs. Each colorful image tells a story we cannot see, but the gleam in someone's eye says to the motherland, we are onward bound. We feel a sense of calmness on a trail along the safari, overlooking the pristine mountains and valleys with effortless ease. Here we came with urns of rubies in our hands. The Master is watching, but we won't turn, onward bound. We are coming, and nothing will stop us. This is powerful, every day. Powerful. Those who think about, those who sleep on. But the bottom line, go back in your history and read, learn, study, and understand where you come from. Your ancestors. We ain't talking about yesterday. We're talking about your ancestors from the motherland, Africa. And there's a rise. Africa is on a rise. They are coming together as one because everything you have on, everything you wear around your neck, all the jewelry that you give homage and your money to the Master here, but they take from you, the motherland, the sapphire, the gold, the diamond, the ruby, everything from the motherland, and you turn around, buy your stuff from him, and turn around, he pays our ancestors in the motherland not even pennies, nickels, and they labor like there's no tomorrow. And you sit around here complaining about what? They're going to come together, talk about, hold up, let's go back and visit the motherland, whether you travel there or not, but at least go back and learn about the motherland.
That is true. Again, I think one of the things, Ron, is that we have so much within us. We have so much that in our history. But because we don't know our history many times, we don't know the greatness within us. And that's why it's so sad that we have so much potential. And you and I know people who have potential. They have the equipment. They have the technology, but they don't use it. And if they don't know how to use it, they don't try to learn how to use it. And so today's agenda is earning and learning, and they come together because hopefully the more that you learn, the more that you can earn, because we do need material things. The spiritual things are important, but we know to live this life, we need a combination of the spiritual and the material. And so we're not telling you how to live your life, but we're just, again, offering food for thought. And that's why, in the program we bring books and want to look at the whole concept of mind, body, and books. And again, so I have something old and something new. Something old is not too old because it's from 2017. It's a book entitled Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. And this is from Charlemagne the God, the popular host, controversial host of the Breakfast Club. And I say controversial because, sometimes he says things that I'm scratching my head, But again, he's outspoken. And in his book, he actually puts forth things that he says give us black privilege. And these are life lessons learned. And these are some of the lessons that he discussed in his book. He says here, there are no losses in life, only lessons. Give people the credit they deserve for being stupid, starting with yourself. It's not the size of the pond, but the hustle in the fish. When you live your truth, no one can use it against you. And the last one, we all have privilege. We just need to access it. That means to take advantage of it. Again, that's from Charlemagne the God, Black Privilege. We have that. The opportunity comes to those who create it. And my second book is something new. As a matter of fact, it's just off the press here. It's entitled 107 Days by Kamala Harris. And basically what it does, it tells us what those 107 days were like for her when she attempted to run for the president of this United States. And I tell you, man, I know who I voted for. And those who didn't vote for her are catching hell. And the thing that makes me laugh is they thought that they voted for the other guy, they would feel less pain. They got realize that, everybody's getting it. Everybody, not just Democrats and Republicans. And that's why sometimes, you got to really bring forth some foresight, because you got to understand that in this life, man, there's consequences. Actions and consequences. And so I share those two books with you just to give you something to read, something to look forward to. And Ron, I'm going to go to you before I go to the next segment. What say you about earning and learning? How do they go together in your mind?
And as I said, and as we talk about all the time, to earn something, you must learn something. To learn something, you must pay attention. Mm-hmm. You must take heed to your surroundings, mm-hmm. whether you are in the midst of your family, a friend, a culture, you listen to the news, or you see something. Mm-hmm. You go outside and look at something and to learn something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And once you take that something you have learned, you could turn around and put it in perspective to earn something. And let me say this. I was listening to the news this morning, for example, and they have this young lady, a couple of people on the show, mm-hmm. and they was taking old material, mm-hmm. okay, that Nazi companies and whatnot, I forgot what were parachutes or something, that they would discard. Mm-hmm. And we always said one person's trash is somebody else's treasure. So here the thought and opportunity came to them at that time to mm-hmm. take those materials and create something.
Yes.
So now they have taken something, they earned something, they learned something, and now they're making something to make money. Mm-hmm. No matter how you look at it. That's right. We say it all the time on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. But you can sit there and do nothing, mm-hmm. which means you're not earning anything because mm-hmm. not learning anything. Mm-hmm. You listen, and we appreciate that because, again, we're not here to just talk to you just because. Mm-hmm. We're here to share, and we're constantly learning and earning something. Mm-hmm. We earn an opportunity to have the privilege to come on this show. Mm-hmm. We learning an opportunity to be on somebody else's show, to interact with people. We're learning something. So here, by learning something, you're earning something because now you take those pieces or any piece and put it in perspective. Mm-hmm. And just in 5 seconds with this one. Yeah, please. For example, and not to challenge, the author, I watch him every now and then, mm-hmm. Charlemagne, mm-hmm. And just the words itself, give us privilege. Let me say this point blank. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No one can give you anything other than man who have already given you the day you was born. Mm-hmm. God has given you the power mm-hmm. to stand and do what needs to be done. He himself, based on everybody who believes in him, mm-hmm. I give you life mm-hmm. and give it abundantly. Right. He giving you the power. Mm-hmm. He said, well, you can have privilege to do it. No, mm-hmm. he gave it to you. Mm-hmm. The question is, What are you doing about it? And here's the last thing.
Yeah.
Because too many is standing around and worrying about some king or somebody else. He's giving you begging him to give you the privilege to stand up and say to have your voice. No. You were born with a voice, and not a damn soul could take it away from you unless God. Unless somebody commits suicide on you or homicide. But the bottom line is you have the power. And so with that, again, not taking anything away or just stepping on him, but you looking at it from that perspective, we have the power. Just like you read earlier in the announcement and whatnot. Over 1 million people around the world, they have the power. They came together. What are you doing with the power that's given to you? Go in your closet and look at behind all that stuff. And then you can earn something, to learn something, to learn something, to earn something, to sell something, to help somebody build up something. No matter how you look at it. It's got to be something.
That's a good point. And again, just to re-emphasize the book here, it's called Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who created. And this is from Charlemagne the God. And again, the other book was 107 Days by Kamala Harris. And just to show you that sometimes it takes time to get some things together. But before we go into our food for thought segment, I want to just spend some time in our music, in our culture, in our history. And this is a segment of the program we call Music is Lit. And I have 3 songs here, Ron, I'm sure you'll be familiar with, but I'm trying to present them in a different way, okay? And these songs are by male artists. And, you know, these songs, what they have in common is they're all from the 70s. The 70s was a very popular time in black music. A lot of groups, a lot of musicians, a lot of ideas. And the first song that I like to read as a poem is from one of my favorite groups, because in this group, every member of the group was really a lead singer. So whether it was Ron Banks or anyone else, they could take that lead position. And the group is the Dramatics. And this is from 1971. And the song is What You See Is What You Get. And it goes like this. Hey, some people are made of plastic. And you know, some people are made of wood. Some people have hearts of stone. Some people are up to no good. But baby, I'm for real. I'm as real can get. So if what you're looking for is real loving, then what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. I said what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. I said what you see is what you get. Look at me, yo. What you see is what you get. I mean, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. And this is the best thing yet. The best thing yet. What you see is what you get. Look at me. What you see is what you get. And it says here, some people are made of plastic. Some people are made of wood. Some people are have hearts of stone, and some people are up to no good. But baby, I'm for real. And what you see is what you get. If you're looking for real loving, then what you see is what you get. And again, that's from the Dramatics. Going on that theme of what you see is what you get, I want to go to a group of brothers, and these are the brothers Tavares. Their last name is Tavares, and they recorded in 1973 a song called Check It Out. And the 5 brothers, you know, were very popular during the 70s, and they did a lot of Las Vegas type shows. And this song, Check It Out, is a song that I really like because I think it delivers a very special message. And it begins here, if you need a strong hand to guide you through the night, if you want someone who understands, then things can't get uptight. If it means anything to you to know that I care for you, check it out. Check it out. Oh, check it out. check it out. I understand complications can sometimes bring you down. A different situation doesn't always be around. And if it means anything to you to know that I care for you, check it out. Check it out, baby. Check it out. Check it out. Check out your mind. Oh, surely you must know my love will always grow. Can't you see? Look into my eyes, girl. Can you see? Look into my eyes, girl. Oh, can't you see? A bit of surprise, girl. There may not be a dreary day for you to suffer through. No, 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 no. If you would let me lead the way, I give the world to you. And if it means anything to you, check it out. Check it out. Check it out, girl. If it means anything to you, check it out. Look into my eyes, girl. Ain't it a bit surprised, girl? Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check out your mind. And that is from the Tavares. Now, this last song that I want to read is interesting because although it was actually recorded by a black group, it was written by some white guys who called themselves the Bee Gees. And this song was featured on a classic movie. I'm sure you saw it, Ron, Saturday Night Fever, when John Travolta dancing to the hearts and minds of many. Yeah. You know, right after that TV show Welcome Back, Kotter, he became a movie star. He became a legend with that one role because he was acting, he was dancing, and showing all his skills. But the soundtrack, I think it's probably one of the few soundtracks I ever brought. But it was just so many good songs on this soundtrack written by a group of white guys called the Bee Gees, and they were brothers, the Gibbs brothers. And this song here was one of my favorite from the movie, classic soul, classic disco, and this is from 1977. And the name of the song is More Than a Woman, as recorded by the Tavares brothers. And so it goes a little something like this. Girl, I know you well. I've seen you growing every day. I never really looked before, but now you take my breath away. Suddenly you in my life, a part of everything I do. You got me working day and night just to keep a hold on you. Here in your arms I found paradise, my only chance for happiness. And if I lose you now, I think I would die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby. We can make it shine. We can take forever, just a minute at a time. Just a minute at a time, because you are more than a woman. More than a woman to me. More than a woman. More than a woman. More than a woman to me. More than a woman. There are stories old and true of people so in love like you and me, and I can see myself let history repeat itself. Reflecting how I feel for you, I'm thinking about those people then. I know that in 1,000 years, I fall in love with you again. This is the only way that we should fly. This is the only way to go. And if I lose your love, I know I would die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby. We can make it shine. We can take forever, just a minute at a time. Minute at a time, because you are more than a woman. More than a woman. More than a woman to me. Yes, you are, baby, more than a woman. More than a woman. More than a woman to me. More than a woman every day of my life. More than a woman, oh baby. More than a woman to me. Yeah, you are more than a woman. More than a woman. More than a woman. She treats me good like a lover should. More than a woman. More than a woman to me. And again, that's Tavares from the soundtrack to the movie Saturday Night Fever. And again, and one of the movies that from the 70s that I can watch again and still enjoy, because it has so much drama and then the music was just amazing. So Ron, we again, even with us two here, the time just flies by. And now we're not the last few minutes of the show, but you are to a point where we have, maybe a good 20, 25 minutes. And what I'd like to do for the time that we have left, I want to go back to this book here. And I want to, again, this book, again, is from a brother named Kenneth Brown, Life, Living in Freedom Every Day. But he also has a part of the book is called Six Principles, okay? 6 Principles for Successful Living. And those principles, I'm going to put those principles out so you just get them in your mind. And I'm going to sort of break it down a little bit. The 6 principles are faith, vision, purpose. Okay, that's the first 3. Faith, vision, and purpose. And I'm going to expound upon those, and Ron is going to say something about it too. But I just want to go through the principles. And the faith, vision, and purpose. And the next is passion, ownership, and associations. Okay? So again, the 6 are faith, vision, purpose, passion, ownership, and associations. And again, I just want to take some time to break it down from the book here, okay? So again, faith. Before anything else, we must exhibit faith in God. Faith is the absolute cornerstone through which we achieve a free life. Through a total belief in the sovereignty of God, we can find the power to overcome barriers and succeed. When our brain tells us no, when our situation tells us success is impossible, faith steps in and removes doubt. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We might not wield absolute control over our circumstances, but the Lord wields absolute control to achieve whatever He wants to achieve through us. That's faith. Vision. What does success look like to you? Have you crystallized a vision of a free life? To be honest, I don't think the typical person has spent much effort contemplating and discerning a vision of success. They might assign a dollar figure to success, but money is the byproduct of success. It's not the goal, and it's certainly not the vision. Purpose. Purpose is closely related to vision, but is more concrete. It's the why for living. Why were you sent here? What will be your legacy, your footprint on the world? What goals are you striving for that result in a journey of success and a life of significance? That's purpose. Passion. Once you understand your purpose, it will naturally lead to passion. Passion manifests itself in boundless enthusiasm. It gives you the energy you need to seek the impossible and the determination you need to overcome the roadblocks that obstruct your road to success. Passion gives you a positive, unwavering attitude. And as we've often heard, your attitude will determine your altitude. As Henry Ford said about attitude, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Ownership. Ownership is about doing all you can with all you have from the place you are. George Bernard Shaw once said, the people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstance they want. And if they can't find them, they make them. When we own up to our lives, we don't indulge in blaming others. We assume 100% responsibility for our thoughts and our actions. We understand that a free life is created from the power to choose and from taking ownership of our choice. And number 6, associations. Have you ever seen photographs of couples who, after decades of marriage, start to resemble each other? They spend so much time together, they look alike and act alike. When it comes to our friends and our close associates, we may not look alike, but as it relates to our level of freedom, we become the people we hang with. Our environment, meaning our family and friendship influences, can be stronger than our will to succeed. Jesus tells us not to cast our pearls before swine. To climb to the next level, you must foster associations with people who will nurture our aspirations. Okay? Again, on the program, we say we're not so much looking for like-minded people. Ron and I are looking for like-spirited people. Because again, the mind is a beautiful thing, but I want to see your spirit, because within your spirit is your passion and your will to succeed. And so, Ron, this book, I said, has really changed my life in many, many ways. Because, like I said, life, L-I-F-E, and living in freedom every day, and I believe that. But these principles, and again, we don't have time to discuss all of them, but maybe we can hit on some of them. And I just want to reiterate them again, and Ron, whatever you want to do in terms of what you want to talk about. But here, faith, vision, purpose, passion, ownership, and associations. These are the 6 principles that will lead to a successful life, according to Brother Kenneth Brown in this book. Okay, the 6 principles of successful living, and we want you to be successful. We want you to be successful each and every day. So, of those 6, Ron, what do you think is the most important? What would you like to address?
I just tap on each one of those,
Okay.
and because what you expressed based on the author of that book, putting it together is all what really everybody knows. Unfortunately, too many go to sleep on everything that sit there right on your table, in your palm of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
God said to Moses, "What's in your hand?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I can ask you. You sit there and say nothing. I say it all the time. But your future, your life is in the palm of your hand. So here, let's start with faith.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. But it's only if you believe. So the key word here is believe. Do you believe it, and do you have patience for it and when it comes? Because again, God has not reneged on his promise. He has set in front of you, just that too many have been asleep. You ignore the opportunity because you think that because somebody else came and said this and done that, I don't believe in you. I don't know that. But do you believe that God is sending angels and the gift through somebody else? God don't come to you directly and knock on your door. He sends angels and spirits to you, but you have to know the difference. Vision. Just like, in Proverbs 29:18, where there's no vision, my people perish. They perish because they sleep. They don't see anything. They don't believe anything. Well, I don't believe it. The old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, the bottom line is, it's not about seeing the forest for the trees. The fact is, you have to know that you can see the horizon. You have to get there. Abraham didn't tell God, well, how far we got to go? No, he said, Abraham, go. And he said to Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, all this belongs to you. But so you're too busy being asleep and your blinds is closed, so you don't even see around your own room.
That's beautiful.
Purpose. Your purpose. What is your purpose? Each and every second of your life, you should wake up and say, Lord, what is my purpose today? Even if you didn't get a direct response, you should be able to do something positive. Whether it's getting up, taking a shower, looking like you somebody, acting like you somebody. Did you smile? That's your purpose. Did you speak? That's a purpose. Right. Did you fix a meal? Are you healthy and wellness? Are you exercise? That's a purpose. What is my purpose? Because when I started doing Sunday school years ago, I said, Lord, what is my reasons and purpose for being here? As a human being, as a man, as a woman, ask yourself, Lord, what is my reasons and purpose for being here? No matter how you look at it. Passion. You have a passion based on what? Do you have your desire? What is that you're yearning for, you cringing over? Lord, I have this passion. I feel so emotional, overwhelmed. You see, that's important. What is my passion? What is it that you're craving? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's ownership, whether it's a vision to travel, to have good friends, to have like-mindedness. What is your passion? But if you don't have anything positive, you can't get anything that's positive. The only thing you're going to do is draw something negative, and then you turn around and complain about it. But you have to have positive energy. And when you have positive energy, you will always draw somebody around you. And somebody says, I don't know what it is about you, but there's something that's positive about you. Ownership. What do you have that you own? Because many of y'all, and I'm going to say this, and I'll stand corrected, but in the bottom line is correct me. You don't even know yourself. So you can't own yourself, and that's where it starts. You have to start knowing and understanding who you are, to own who you are, your dignity, your pride, your character, your passion, everything. I own me. but I don't own me because I didn't create me. God owned me, but he give us life and have it abundantly.
That's right.
Don't ever let anybody take it away from you. Own who you are, but don't own it with something positive and nothing negative. Association. Well, guess what? That's what we deal with each and every day.
That's right. That's
You
right.
allow yourself to be associated with something or somebody that have no purpose and have no energy to give you anything. Only the promise. There's two promises. The promise is one is everlasting, and the other promise is to glorify your moment because you're too blind, and that is darkness. Evil's job is to roam to seek who it may devour. And if I could show you gold and glitter and all this Louis Vuitton and all this other stuff and the Million Man March Parade and jumping on the bandwagon, everybody else, yeah. But all of a sudden, it ends at the end of the moment.
That's right.
But see, God said, I give you life and have it abundantly, everlasting. So if you trust and you associate yourself with positive people that's going someplace, then you know that the people or the purpose or the thing that you associate with is giving you energy, positive energy. That's what's important. Everything is in the moment and time because tomorrow's not promised. Yesterday is gone. All you have is today. So all those that you have listed and all the things we just tapped on, you have the opportunity to think about, if not all of them, one of those. But really, technically, when you look at it, it's really a package. Because when you look at yourself and you talk to yourself, Lord, who am I? What is my reason and purpose? Then you see, what can I see? Well, he said, look. Where should I look? See, that's the problem. So now you want to question. You need to know where you're going. No, he said, as far as your eye can see, you have to understand where you're looking. What is your passion? What is the desire that you have, the desires of your heart? He said, ask anything in my name. Now, you won't find no darkness, not a criminal out here going to say, ask anything in my name and I'll give it to you.
No.
You see, evil tried Jesus in the wilderness. He said, if you the son, I'll give you this. He said, please, get behind me. I don't need that nonsense.
No.
Because he knew who his maker was.
Yeah.
You see, so that's what you need to do and understand. Okay, the desires of your heart. What is it that you desire? And what is it that you're yearning inside of you? No matter how you look at it.
Yeah, Ron, and again, and my brother, again, he's a magic man because he touched on all 6 of these things. He touched on faith. He touched on vision. He touched on purpose. He touched on passion. He touched on ownership. And he touched on association. And I just want to read this quote from the back of the book. This is a quote from one of my favorite authors, Dennis Kimbrough, who's author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, and another book that I really enjoyed was called What Makes Great Great. And there is a quote from Dennis Kimbrough, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, on the back of this book. And Dr. Dennis Kimbrough says, in reference to this book, he says here, an inspiring and thoughtful book, one that will impact the lives of millions. Ken Brown explains in the most simple terms how to live a life worth living. Thanks to living in freedom every day, I now realize that a career is what you're paid for, but a calling is what you're made for. I just want to, I got to stop there, Ron. This resonates with me. She says here, a career is what you're paid for. A calling is what you're made for. Read this book and discover what you are called to do. A career is what you're paid for. A calling is what you're made for. Unfortunately, many of us don't get a chance to answer our calling because we're so tied down in jobs. And Ron, I always say that, like you have your job and you'll have many jobs, but your work, the work is what you were made for. A career, and I can't emphasize it, a career is what you're paid for, but a calling is what you're made for. The purpose of life is to discover your gifts. The meaning of life is to discover your gifts, and the purpose of life is to give those gifts away. And so again, it's just, I tell you, man, time flies when you're having fun. So we have about 10 minutes to sort of bring it on home. But again, I thank you so much for tuning into this show. I thank you so much for listening to us, encouraging us. Before we come on the air, there are many of you who sort of just let us know that you're out there. So it's almost like, before you go on the stage, people patting you on the back and say, have a good show, be successful. And so we thank you for that. We thank you for every Thursday and every Sunday that we come on, and we come on live, and of course we're on YouTube forever. And if you subscribe, you'll see all the things that we're doing. But Ron, I tell you, man, this has been for me a very successful hour. It's been a very empowering and encouraging hour. And I'm going to let you maybe share some things with us, some of your final thoughts, and sort of wrap things up for us.
Yeah, let me do this. And one, again, patience. Too many doesn't have patience. God don't rush for no one. He has created you, and he could take you out of here like a blink of an eye. And you fail to realize because you're too busy to sleep, because you are impatient. Everybody who reads the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, or any other book, go back to the inception of the word, patience. Find out who lost their life because they didn't have patience. Wow. Matter of fact, as an example, ask Sarah. She was young. She had the opportunity, but because she was impatient, she had to wait the damn near. She was 99 to have a child. Wow. But the bottom line is, there was no such thing. She was too old because God said, who said you was too old? Who said that? I gave you, and I gave you abundantly. But it's in my time, not your time. The other thing, too, don't rush things. That's one of the biggest things. That's why you don't have to pay, because you're too busy rushing. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And guess what? Everything does not work in your favor. There's not a living soul on the face of the earth who rushed something and got what they wanted. That's right. But let me back up. You got what you wanted, but it didn't last, because now you regret it because you rushed it. Wow. It's not about rushing it. It's about having patience and wait till the time. Jesus said you don't know the hour or the day, but by the changing of the season. The changing of the season is not the weather out there, but it's the patience that you have for the Spirit to answer the call, which is your blessing, no matter how you look at it. And when blessings come, my cup runneth over. Too many of society is hoarding everything your blessing. I don't care if you hit the lottery. I don't care if you won a ticket or whatever. You are hoarding everything that you receive because you don't pass it on. Sure, you can hit the lottery for $5, $10, $1,000, $1 million. But when you hoard, what happens is like you running water in the glass, and it runs over and it becomes waste. Because somebody else could have been living, you could have lived somebody else. But when you are blessed, you pass those blessings on to somebody else. Here, let me share this with you. Because if you've been blessed, it's about passing on blessings. Life didn't just start today and end in a second. It gives you life and have it abundantly. Listen to that, the fruits and labors and all the vegetables that you have. But anyway, like my brother said, time flies and we don't have that much time. But anyway, I just want to point that out. But let me read this also before we also end, and then we'll just have a little short dialogue with this. Vanishing point. And this is taken out of the book We See Colors, okay? On page 35. Vanishing point. The image of who I am, what I've been through, and where am I going has been distorted. And life seems to be unfolding right in front of me. Yet, I cannot see my pupils dilate. What have I missed from my youth until I was able to walk? Is life nothing but a dream, or just my imagination of how I think? Thinking has become a way of wrongness, from relationship to mentorship to looking for the job I lost. Babies crying, children's whining, bills collected, debt collectors, church pastors, activists. I must explore the path I never traveled, and drowning from my own loneliness. I was in desperate need of losing to the darkness from the things that held my soul hostage. My pain screams like sirens rushing towards a fiery flame that never left a scar. My situation was counted by the hope I lost, but I cannot explain what happened. Everything I touched seems to have vanished, leaving me in a crutched position, and my sorrow was picked from an orchard tree of dreams. My failures gave me the strength to hold on all my excuses without my voice being heard in the midday hour, and the sun shines no more. What is the light? no matter how you look at it. What is the light? Do you see? Can you see? What is the issue here? Bright as the beautiful peace that used to comfort me, I never learned the difference between my needs and wants. In the evening, mornings, noon, I cried out in distress, and my voice is only heard in silence. Do you hear me, Lord? Am I at my vanishing point, or will I continue to fade in the shadows of doubt? You found me where I thought I was lost, coping with depression, stress, anxiety, but your words touched and guided me back to a world of reality. And all day long will I give thanks unto you, Lord, for being my path of light and your doors to all eternal happiness. Thank you for finding me with your grace and mercy. I surrender all. Oh Lord, my soul rests with you, or not at all. My brothers and sisters, to everyone at the sound of our voice, we thank you for chiming in to your comments, and all that's important, but we try to be something positive to you. We try to give you something. We try to listen and hear from you. That's what's important. We can only hope and pray, and not so much hope and pray. The fact is we believe that we touch somebody wake up and woke up and continue to move forward with the gift and talent, the vision, the passions, the association, the ownership, no matter how you look at it. Take heed to it. To understand all of that starts with you. Who are you? You ask yourself, Lord, who am I? And what is my reasons and purpose for being here? And with that, we truly thank you until we meet again.
So again, this has been Poetically Speaking with Ron McCray and Terry Benjamin, and our engineer today has been Pierre. So until we see you again, good evening.